figure out what they want to do. As the Philadelphia 76ers, they went all in the middle of the season, making the trade for Jimmy Butler, making the trade for Tobias Harris, both of which are free agents. You also have J.J. Redick, I believe, is a free agent as well. So, I mean, we talked about Joel Embiid not being able to stay healthy, but he is the king of load management. Just kind of want to get your thoughts on the Philadelphia 76ers team. I mean, just real quick, my thinking is Ben Simmons has got to. We can't just keep talking about it. We got to figure out some kind of jump shot over the summer. And then obviously priority one for them is what are we doing with our free agents? Are we re-signing all three? Are we re-signing two of them? That's kind of what I think the order of importance is for Philadelphia.
Yeah, Philly is definitely more of a – I would say I would be more nervous for them than I would be for Boston. Again, Tobias Harris, he can get the as they say, secure the bag this summer for real. There's a lot of teams that is interested in Tobias, and I was very impressed with his play this past season. I don't know if Philly can get him back. You know, with what's going on with, I heard him connected to Brooklyn a lot. There's some teams out there that wants to get him. Now, as far as Jimmy, I think Jimmy's gone. Personally, I think
really?
I think he's gone. I think he goes to another team. I've been hearing some different things, whispers even during the season that he was gonna leave. So I just don't know where yet. I don't know if they can sell Jimmy on a Lakers thing, because like I said again, if you breathe, you're a superstar. They're gonna connect you to the Lakers. So that's just automatic right there. So, but I think I definitely think Jimmy's gone. Like, so Philly, yes, like you said, has a lot of different things that they need to answer to, especially Ben Simmons. You know, you put a lot of stock in this guy. You know, he's the face, and he can't do too much. I mean, like, the dude has to definitely get a jump shot. Embiid again, you know, he's bit by that injury bug of the bigger players out there, the big man injury bug. So there's definitely some questions there on your franchise players before they can even start to worry about the free agents.
Yeah, I mean, I think with Embiid, you just got to know going into the season, if we're lucky, we'll get 60 games out of him. That's a good season. And Ben Simmons was exposed like none other have been exposed in a long time in the playoffs. And if I'm the 76ers, I kind of agree with you. I think I let Jimmy Butler leave. I'm bringing back Tobias Harris. And I'm also going to try to see if I can convince J.J. Redick to stay with us, because like you just said about if you're a star, you best believe LeBron probably has J.J. Redick on speed dial. Because think about throwing the ball down to AD, or you want a double, we'll kick out to JJ, he can make it rain. So if I'm the 76ers, I think re-signing Redick and re-signing Harris is a priority.
Yeah, no, I completely agree, because JJ Redick, man, I mean, I've been so impressed with the professional that he has become. He's not that superstar that everybody, you know, that the Duke players come out with. But, I mean, just great defense, got a jump shot. I mean, he just does it all. And there was times when I would watch the Sixers, he'd be the only one out there balling, you know, compared to everybody else. So, if I'm Philly, I definitely want to keep JJ in the building, because if JJ ends up with the Lakers or some other championship team, he's going to be a tremendous piece for them.
Yeah, that'd be a heck of a pickup right there. And we'll have to see, too, what happens with the draft coming up on Thursday. Of course, the Pelicans having that number 4 pick and number 1. I have a feeling when the draft starts or after the draft starts, I'd be shocked if the Pelicans keep that pick. I think that gets moved perhaps to somebody in the East. I mean, I'm a D.C. guy. Of course, everybody in D.C. who's a Wizards fan is all nervous because we're hearing a lot of rumors about Bradley Beal for the number 4 pick and some players to the Wizards trade possibly coming down the line. So that's going to play a factor, too, in the Eastern Conference for sure. LeBron left and all hell broke loose in the East.
Absolutely, yeah, because everybody was just that rock that nobody could get past. And you've seen this past season, or not this past season, but the season before, the season that he left, that Cavaliers team was starting to pretty much deteriorate, though. You know, it was like it was only going to be a matter of time because all the other teams were catching up with him anyway. But as far as Bill and everything, yeah, his name is being floated around a lot. That 4th pick, I've been seeing some rumors about the Pelicans talking to the Hawks, and you know, I've seen Cleveland's name get mentioned a couple of times too, that they may want to move out of that 5th spot and move down to acquire more players, because, you know, with their hiring of Beeline, he's more of a developmental guy. So they want to kind of get a younger team around him so that he can develop these guys into some stars. So I really feel like, and I'm pretty sure you've heard and stuff that a lot of the top analysts out there and just the people that are directly connected to the NBA, even more so than us, they feel like, it's top heavy. After 3, it's going to be all hell breaking loose. We don't know what the heck is going to happen.
Yeah, for sure. And the Atlanta Hawks have a boatload of draft picks. They have a chance to either A, make some moves and acquire some more talent, or B, obviously it's super hard and almost impossible for them to hit on every single draft pick. I mean, ask the Raiders. We'll see how that works out for them in the NFL. but I think the Hawks have a chance to really change their franchise. I was talking about at the beginning of the podcast that by Friday morning, the Atlanta Hawks and the New Orleans Pelicans can do a rebuild in a matter of days, like legit.
Yes, absolutely. Because like you said, they have so many picks that it's not even going to be the fact that they're going to use them, but they may just trade and get, and like you said, get some more veteran talent around there. The Hawks look very, very fun. Looks like they have a great star in Trey. So, the sky's the limit for the Hawks. Another team that we haven't mentioned yet, but Orlando. I'm very curious to see how Orlando looks this season. They have so much talent that was injured this year.
Yeah.
And so if they come back healthy, man, they're going to be extremely interesting. So again, it speaks back to what we said earlier. The NBA is going to be a fun season next season because there's so many different little storylines, so many teams that could take that jump forward, and there's a lot of teams that could probably take a step back, which we're going to see. So
yeah,
it's open. It's open for sure.
Yeah, no, 100%. I agree. It might be time for me to re-up that NBA League Pass. And with you being an Ohio guy, I was talking about how you rep Ohio sports so hard. What is your feelings and what are your expectations? What do you want to see happen with the Cavaliers this offseason? Brand new head coach, a Michigan guy. I'll leave my comments at that. I think you're in good hands. But what do you think about the Cavaliers coming up?
Well, we'll put the Michigan comment aside for now. I'll get you later on that. But anywho, again, like I said with Beeline, the guy he's that stable guy that you want at that coaching position for the franchise. The only thing that when it comes down to the Cavaliers franchise is what we know that Dan Gilbert doesn't have patience. So I don't know how long Kobe Altman is going to be there as the GM because they never seem to re-up on their GMs. That's a concern. Again, I know that they said that they want to usher in a new era and have Beeline, train these guys and develop them and stuff for what he's good at. But again, we've seen with Dan, if the losing seasons start to pile up, he will pull that trigger quick. It doesn't matter. I can't tell you how many people are still getting paid from the Cavaliers because they didn't got fired, within the year of their contract. I mean, this guy's payroll to former coaches is amazing. But like I said, again, the lot of rumors that I've heard up this way is that they're not really enamored with anybody at that five spot. And again, that's because of the fact that after the top 3 players, like there could be anybody.
Yeah.
So like, of course, Hunter is connected to us. I've heard Garland is connected to us. There's just so many different things going on that nobody knows. And then, like I said, again, if a team that's behind them is liking one of these players, I heard that they're definitely open to moving down and just and collecting more draft picks so that, like I said, again, they could just bring in a ton of rookies and let Beeline do his thing. So I would not be surprised for the Cavaliers to move down. I would be very shocked if they moved up, though.
Now, it seems to me like with the Cavaliers, one of the star pieces of that team has got to be Colin Sexton, young bull, who I think as the NBA season went on, he got better and better. I mean, he was not the player at the end of the season that we saw in the first week. His improvement was like night and day to me.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the biggest things that surprised us about Colin Sexton and the biggest knock on him coming out was his jump shot. Nobody really thought that he had the ability to consistently hit from the NBA three-point range, and he absolutely shattered that expectation. He actually broke the rookie record for the Cavaliers for most threes made, and that was actually a very, very pleasant surprise. Now, another thing that he had got a knock on this past season, though, was his assist numbers because they was extremely low. But I'm not too concerned with that because if you look at the team that was around him, a lot of times we were throwing in a lot of different players, a lot of different D-League players, just players from all over the place. And so a lot of times he had to carry the team scoring-wise. And when you're throwing that kind of responsibility on a young point guard like that, something is going to drop. In this unfortunate case, it was assists. So I think that will come back up. You're absolutely right. Colin is one of those pieces for them. They also are very, very much in love with Larry Nance Jr. too. So you'll definitely see them try to build around those two players there. I've also heard some different things about Kevin Love being possibly moved.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah, we definitely want to get J.R. Smith's contract off the books too. So look for him to get moved as well this season.
I love how whenever you answer Cleveland-rated sports questions, it's always a we. I like that. That's fandom. That's fandom the way it's supposed to be done right there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not getting the check, but you still feel like you're part of the squad repping your city. I appreciate that. Now, before we let you go, what other NBA storylines or what's the main storyline you're looking forward to this summer?
Man, at first, like I said again, I got my eyes on the Cavs, of course, but outside of that, the most interesting thing to me right now is going to be this Houston Rockets thing. I mean, we mentioned it earlier. I really want to see what the heck that they want to do when it comes to Chris Paul and James Harden. Now, we've seen how they tried to stagger them during the season, where you would see maybe Harden, coming in, and then at the start of the second quarter, it would be Chris Paul out there. While Harden rests, but they try not to keep him on the court at the same time because we know what Harden's usage is and we know what Chris Paul's usage is. So it's going to be extremely interesting to see what direction Houston goes when it comes to that, and also to see what they do with D'Antoni. I mean, like I said again, if I was them, I would just try to keep everything in place, tell everybody, hey, cool out, man. We got kind of far last season, and now we know what's up with Golden State. So let's try to make just one more run at this. And then after that, we'll figure it out after that. But your guess is as good as mine when it comes to that because we're not in that locker room every day, and we don't know if they'll be able to stomach each other for the entire season. So that's going to be extremely interesting. I've heard Chris Paul is like a pester when it comes to things, and he doesn't let things go. So he holds grudges. So it's going to be very interesting.
Sounds like Draymond Green's older brother right there. Yeah, that's it. I mean, you think about it, man. Your nemesis is down and out for the count, basically. This is your time to rise up, and this is the offseason you decide to start fighting or at least making it public. And with those two contracts, you and I both know Harden's not going anywhere at all. He is the Rockets. And then what NBA team is taking on that huge Chris Paul contract at his age? So you're stuck with each other.
Absolutely, because Chris cannot stay on the court. He's always getting injured, and then also too, and it ain't me picking on nobody because I'm not the most physically fit guy either. But he doesn't look that fit, right? We know with LeBron why he hasn't got injured is because he takes care of his body so well. But with Chris, he just seems like a regular guy. He's gonna go out there and get nachos, eat a couple of hot dogs with you, like he does not care. And because of that, we see why he's always injured. He's always pulling something, you know, and that's just a scary thought, like that you got that guy for so much money, plus he's your point guard and supposed to be one of your leaders out there, and you cannot depend on him to stay out there and get you buckets, man, because he's always injured.
Before I let you go, I got one more question. I was like looking at my notes. I was like, oh man, I didn't even ask him about that. What are your expectations for Lonzo Ball in New Orleans? Or do you think he's even going to suit up for them one game? Like, what are you expecting from Lonzo? Finally healthy, out of the LA spotlight.
I think this is going to be fun. I know that one of our good friends, Damian Adams, is excited about it as anybody. And like you said, again, adding Zion to that, it should be really fun. If I'm Lonzo, I would be extremely excited because New Orleans isn't a bad city. Everybody that I know that's been there, they love it. Great culture, great food, and they love their sports teams. So, seeing a lot of fan reaction, they're like, man, finally we're gonna have some excitement around our NBA team, as much as we have around our NFL team. So now we can become a dual sports city. So everybody's really excited, and they want to, bring them in with their arms open. And then also for Lonzo too, I would take this as a brand new spanking opportunity. Okay, we seen what happened when you went out to LA. We seen all the crap, that your father brought